I know it's bad, but I focus on the naked woman. Just for my... Yeah, you can read now.
Okay, I'm Clayton Campbell. I'm an artist. I work as the artistic director at 18th Street Art Center. I was born in New York City. I've lived in Europe, Santa Fe, New Mexico, but I've been in Los Angeles since 1990, so, 17, 18 years. The craziest thing about my job is probably being a mediator for everybody's different concerns and agendas. It's crazy because I have to really walk a fine line in being sensitive to sometimes things I have absolutely no interest in. That's a crazy logic. The best thing about LA, this is a cliche, it's the weather. But the weather is connected to people's sense of ease and unrelenting energy. I've never been in a place where people work harder because they never stop. You don't have to when it's warm. You just keep on going and going. The worst thing about LA is the traffic. I'm accused of sitting in my car and screaming and being a madman, and then last week I did that. My son actually got out of the car and left me there by myself. So I hate the traffic. I would like to live in LA. How would I like to live here? I'd like to live right on the water, but I can't afford it. It's way too expensive, unless I want to join, all the homeless guys sleeping on the beach tonight, but that's not an option for me. I'd love to live on the water. So I wake up every morning and, the waves are breaking, 100 yards from where I'm sitting. I would love that. That's why you come here, isn't it? To be by the ocean. So I have one real quick story that gives one the sense of the strangeness of Los Angeles, but also the humor of living here. I was just arrived. I was from New York, and I felt like Woody Allen outside of New York. Nothing made sense. I was having trouble relating to it. There was no logic. I couldn't find my way around. There was no center. I was like, what a stupid city. It's just a stupid city. You need a car. You can't walk. You don't meet anybody. Anyway, I had a studio, and there were some very serious riots called the Rodney King incident, and then there were major rioting throughout the city. And we couldn't leave our house because our neighborhood was on fire. There were gangs driving around, burning down buildings after they broke into them and stole everything. At one point I was thinking, this has been going on 3 days. I need some art supplies. Why don't I just go out and get them? It's no problem. But I didn't. And I'm watching CNN News, and the news helicopter is following a crowd, breaking into buildings, running out, and before they leave, they set fire to the building and run down the street to the next one. So I'm sitting there with my wife, and I go, that looks weirdly familiar. It turns out a crowd is breaking into a building where my studio was, and they're about to burn it down, and I'm going to lose everything. And I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm not going to stay in this city. It's ridiculous. It's dangerous. And at that moment, the crowd comes running out of the building, and the CNN helicopter follows them down the street as they run into a bigger building, break into it, and burn it down instead of the one where my studio was. So that was my reprieve. If my studio burned down, I would have left. So if it weren't for that bigger store down the street, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met Denis Brun, and that would be the end of my story.